crystals, walking cycles, globby slimes, and light sources. Crystals are pretty easy. You want to see that? Okay. Here's crystals. Ready? Take a color. Okay. Think about the depth here. Alright, so it's deeper down here. Okay. And I'm gonna go probably even deeper down here. Right, and what makes a crystal is the way, there's two things. How light refracts inside of it and reflects off of it. That's what makes a crystal. What's really key is the contrast, right, between the light bits and the dark bits. It has to be very sharp. And because it's see-through, you sort of have to convey depth inside of it. So what I'm doing here is I'm thinking about like a couple things. First thing is like this edge here. This is like a prism, right? So it's like, right? And so the deepest parts, when we're looking through it, are going to be right here, right? So this should be the darkest. Because we're looking through it. The other thing is that the light, if it's coming from the top, is going to hit these edges really hard, right? Like this. You can sort of do a little bit of specular here as well. And you could do like reflections. What could be good is I use the shader tool. So it's like I'll grab like this. I'll go upper shade. Maybe like grab all the blues. Go upper shade and just shade in this space. You would probably see some bits and pieces flying off here and there. Little like tricks of the light. It's a bit of a messy one, but passing to say hi and don't want to leave anymore. Hey, Doug's Rum. Well, don't leave. It's easy. Just stay and then that's it. One thing that I like to talk about a lot of the time when I'm doing anything is distribution of color. So think about trying to achieve a kind of like a normal distribution with how many colors you use and how you use those colors. So you can see here, this brightest color, and then this color, right? And then this color, then this, then this, then this, this I should say. What I'm trying to do is use as little as possible as these ones on the edges, right? And a little bit more of the ones in the middle. Kind of like a bell curve, right? So count how many of these little tiny brightest ones we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? But then this next one, look at how many more of those pixels we've got. There's like way more. It's like close to like 4 or 5 times the amount of these little bright ones. And then this next one down, it's more again. But then this one here is kind of like medium. And then this one's a little less. And then this one's like almost nothing again. So it's kind of like you want to create that distribution, not just because of, it's not because of how diamonds work per se. It's more just how exposure works in cameras and how light works, how your eye will perceive things. You kind of just want a normal distribution of color most of the time, just because. It always seems to work for me, so I don't question it. I just follow. a bell curve. So there's a kind of a crystal. I think so I was talking earlier about contrast, right? It's really important to have some kind of contrast at all of the edges. You want to have a degree of contrast. It just sort of shows that something's sharp. You know, if you try to start feathering this through, right? Now this edge doesn't look sharp anymore. It looks rounded. It looks flat. Lion von Adern says, the one you make look really good. Looks more like a jewel. Check out the crystals I made. Oh, you're talking about like naturally occurring crystals? So like, if you want to do something naturally occurring, then it's just a question of, you would just think about those shapes, right? And do the same thing. So you could start by filling in the bits around the edges. If you want to give it a little bit of an outline, that's cool. All right. Think about the light maybe off the top, and then the darkness in the middle. Again. I know this is looking a little bit phallic. Let's ignore that for now. And I'm not going to explain how making it hard will fix it. Guys, I'm drawing diamonds, okay? I'm drawing crystals. Don't make fun of me. So, like with before, trying to keep that contrast up. And when I talk about contrast, I mean pretty specifically like the difference between light and dark. That's what I'm talking about. Right? So high contrast means that the difference between light and dark is very sudden. You want to do it over like a single pixel. Yeah, the light distribution. So you've got, let's go back to what your example was. So what you're doing is more like this, right? Where you've got like the light, right? And you're sort of coming away from it like this, right? Now, if you were dealing with a solid object, then you would have something that looked like that, right? That's kind of like what you've got going on, right? You've got like the brightest in the very top left. Sorry, you can't see my mouse there. You got the brightest in the top left, then you got it a little bit darker, and then a little bit darker, right down to the bottom, right? But crystals are translucent, which means that light passes through them. That's the bit that's going to be more difficult. So you need to show the light either like some rim light like this on the edges, right? You know, give it some edges. You want to make it darker on one side of the face. You know, start throwing some reflections around. You know, you got to think about how the light is passing through it. That's the answer. Now, this is what it looks like when you have too much of one color, right? So this color here, we were talking about that normal distribution before, right? Once you start going a little too high, right? You can see it kind of loses its impact. It kind of looks like it's got like snow on it or something. So to fix that, I would just dial it back. If the contrast isn't high enough, I'll just introduce some darker colors rather than trying to go brighter and brighter. Because we all want it, we want like this idea of like, they're bright, they reflect more, so if it's not shiny enough I need to add more light. That doesn't work. It's about the contrast between light and dark. It's not just about adding more light. Yeah, there you go. Crystals. Lion von Adern says, due to space limitation, don't know how to distribute the colors. So you want to do like really, you're in a tight space, aren't you? Let's have a look. You want to do very small crystals. All right, let's have a look here. How many pixels do you got? You got 3 wide. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. You just need that contrast. If you can just get that much in there, I think you're sweet. They will look muddier the fewer pixels you can dedicate to them, but I think, you know, you still kind of get the idea. Well, I don't know how to make it look that's about as small as you could go and still get that sort of crystal effect. Not going to get much smaller than that. Anyway, there you go. Some crystally diamonds of multiple resolutions and shapes. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you particularly to the patrons who support my channel and this channel here on YouTube. Thank you to Jacob Young, to Bigatron, to Jared Barboza, to Alex, Jaded Cat, Raimu, Robin Fritz, Gerald, and Joe Constant. Guys, much love. If you would like to become a supporter of the stream, please see the links below. Thank you all, and catch you next time.